Have you ever had a worry hit you, a single terrifying what if? And what do? You don't ignore it, you dive right in. You think, I must solve this. I must prepare for the absolute worst case. You mentally prepare for the disaster. You run the scenarios. You create a backup plan for the backup plan. And for a moment, you get a wave of relief. Phew, I solved it. But then, 30 minutes later, the exact same thought, or a slightly worse version, comes back. You repeat the preparation. You solve it again. But this time you have to go even further to get that relief. This cycle of frantic mental checking that only brings temporary calm is what we call the worry trap. It's exhausting, and it's actually making you more anxious. To understand how to stop it, you have to correctly identify the players. Your original worry, that sticky, catastrophic what if, is the obsession. It's the intrusive thought trying to grab your attention. The second player is the real problem, your so-called problem solving. This mental preparation, this analyzing the worst case to feel safe, is actually a compulsion, or a mental ritual. Here is the key insight. When you do that mental ritual, you get that small burst of relief, right? That relief is the trap. It teaches your brain that the intrusive thought was a real critical threat that needed your ritual to be neutralized. You are training your brain to become dependent on the ritual, which guarantees the thought will come back even stronger next time. You are fueling the fire. The only way to break this cycle is to refuse to play the game. We need to stop fighting the thought and start changing our reaction to it. This is the core practice of the most effective therapy for this pattern: exposure and response prevention, ERP. Here are 3 steps you can practice right now. Step 1. Relabel it. Don't engage with it. The moment that worry hits and the urge to mentally prepare starts, stop. Don't argue with the thought. Just relabel the process. Instead of, oh no, I need to plan for losing my job, say, this is just an anxiety spike trying to pull me into a mental ritual. I don't need to engage with it right now. By calling it an anxiety spike or a ritual, you take away its power as a genuine problem you have to solve. It's just noise. Step 2. Embrace uncertainty. Drop the rope. The ritual is your brain's demand for 100% certainty, which is impossible in life. Your job now is to practice being okay with not knowing. When the thought demands a solution, respond with intentional uncertainty. Maybe that will happen. Maybe it won't. I'm willing to take my chances. I will deal with that if it happens, but not now. You are dropping the rope in the mental tug-of-war. The anxiety will initially spike, but without the ritual, it will naturally decrease on its own. Step 3. Redirect to the present. Move forward. Once you refuse the ritual, immediately pivot your attention back to your life. The goal is not to stop the thought, but to keep living while the thought is still there. Look around and name 3 things you see and 2 things you hear. Go back to the task you were doing. The thought will return. That is normal. Your job is to simply repeat steps 1 and 2, over and over again, until the anxiety weakens. The practice is this: when a scary thought appears, you acknowledge it, you refuse to ritualize, and you redirect your attention. You are essentially telling your brain, I hear you, but you are not a threat, and I do not need to solve you to be safe. This won't stop the thoughts from popping up, but it will change your reaction to them. Over time, your brain will realize that these thoughts carry no real danger, and the intrusive thoughts will become less frequent and far less intense. If this cycle dominates your life, please know that you are not alone, and there is specialized help. Seeking out a therapist trained in exposure and response prevention, ERP, is the most powerful step you can take toward true, long-term freedom.